We're gonna need to do roll call.
I got it. Sarah? Here. Tatum?
Here.
Holt?
Here.
Nikki? Here.
Here.
All right. Just some house rules real quick. Guys, since we've already been through this, we're gonna give everybody 10 minutes or less, okay, whatever it takes. Not the time that we talk, but your actual time. And we're gonna limit tonight's meeting for 2 hours at the max. If we have to reschedule, we have to reschedule, but I know some of us not being home yet, so, you know, it is what it is. All right. Give us just a minute here. We're just getting this paperwork. And I guess we'll start right off the top. And some may not have made changes, and if so, they can just tell us, and we'll move on. Some may or may not want to get up and talk about it, and that's fine too. And it looks like we'll just start at the very front page right here, County Judge's Office.
You may, I don't know if she got it put on there yet or not, but there should be a $12,000 increase in mine to be offset by a $12,000 decrease in the maintenance department. That reason being is to get our website rebuilt and reconstructed completely.
I put 2 payrolls in general.
Okay,
There's $1,500 for the website.
1,500 for the website. It should be 12,000.
Okay.
12,000 from maintenance to the judge's department or county judge's office. It'd be $1,000 a month for the first year. It's going to be a very secure website. It's going to be really good. We can start accepting applications online. They're going to move everything over. We'll get to unveil it at one time. It's going to be completely rebranded and reworked. It's a lot more user-friendly.
Joe, did you say you moved from one place to another?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, coming from where?
Maintenance.
Okay. Which maintenance?
It used to be safety and maintenance, should just be maintenance.
Got maintenance and service contracts.
No, from a
Different
different
office.
department, a different office.
Oh.
Maintenance department. Now, I had already cut a little over 9% out of my total budget, so that's why it's just moving numbers around. There's no plus, no minus,
Okay, even Steven.
even Steven.
She's
It's
taking
page
it out
22.
of other professional services.
In maintenance, there was a $35,000 line item,
Okay.
is out of that one.
Down there on the bottom under machinery and equipment.
Yes, yes.
Okay, 35,000, yeah.
Take 12,000 out of that, move that over to
Okay.
county judge's office.
Okay.
So it's a budget neutral move. That's a smiles ahead.
Oh, must be the other one.
And you're moving it to.
Maintenance and service contracts.
Yes.
And everything was the same on that one, correct?
Yes.
Everything else.
Yes. we're gonna run my office staff 2 pay periods out of county general, the rest out of, to be reimbursed by county roads.
Okay.
And you'll have the ordinance in your packet this month for that. And you wanna go ahead and entertain solid waste right now?
Yes.
Is this your?
That's the one we're pulling the clock.
Do you know what the number is?
Which one we doing?
I do it by people.
It's set up
What are we doing?
He's doing the,
Solid waste.
solid
It's
waste.
gonna be 3,000.
3,000, that'd be a difference.
That'd
be in your second
packet.
packet.
Second packet.
The 3,000,
Page, well, it's page 1, it's 3,009, office 700. That'll be in your second packet.
Okay. Let me know when y'all are ready.
y'all are actually under in solid waste since she changed her numbers.
Yes. We're actually under in solid waste. What I need to do, something happened today, and I need to make an adjustment that's gonna impact you guys. I moved one of the part-timers over to the road department because I felt that we had the payroll to move. I had another part-timer quit today. We have a part-timer who is doing an exceptional job. It's Richard Grant. He was managing Casey's, he's managed Dollar General, doing a phenomenal job. I want to make him full-time. Put the math to it, we're money ahead to not replace the part-timers and to go ahead and make him full-time. So, but I will need y'all to approve that position.
Okay, and which position is he going in?
It's just solid waste.
Okay, he's not driving the one thing or
No,
the
he's
new
working
management?
recycling.
He's in the recycling.
Recycling, pulling trailers, doing whatever.
Oh, okay.
We're more around a team out there now. We're not just doing one thing. We're doing whatever
Okay.
needs to be done.
All right. That's good.
So you'll have 4 full-time.
Let's see, we'll have the driver, the manager, the scout house, the transfer station, and Richard, which would be 5 full, 1 part. And it was 4 full, 4 part.
Which what's reflected here, do you know?
It's gonna be under. But of course, solid waste is its own budget. It doesn't impact county general.
Well, I'm showing 3 full-time right here, and then the rest part-time. What will his title be?
Labor.
I'll get with you tomorrow.
Okay.
and get all of these ones.
And those were the only changes.
Alright. Solid waste. Hmm?
So now the figures are changing up with that, with taking the part-time out and putting full-time in?
They shouldn't. I'll get with Pam tomorrow and
Alright.
we'll verify.
But as far as general, that 12,000 will come over, and the solid waste won't really
Correct.
hit, right, general.
Solid waste doesn't impact And the $12,000 move is just that, it's a move. Budget neutral.
Alright.
It actually should come down some. Yeah,
Solid
50
waste will.
Yeah, you had 52,000 for part-time, so this guy shouldn't be making over 25.
Correct. Of course, we'll have to add some benefits.
Yeah.
Anything else you have, Judge?
Everything else is the same.
Everything else is the same under you, okay. Try to not get these paperwork screwed up this time. Alright, looks like we have the, let's go with the 1,000. Fund 1,000, Office 101, County Clerk's Office.
No, there's no change on that yet.
Okay. Change on that one. Alright, let's go with Fund 1,000, Office 102, County General Circuit Clerk's Office.
She just went to get her budget downstairs.
Alright, we'll move on. We'll come back to her.
Page on, Bubba.
Page, that was page, well, it shows page 1, but it's 1,102.
It's the third one in the first packet.
What are you calling the second packet? This
Yeah.
one?
There was a second packet, second big packet.
It doesn't come out of county general. So the pile that had the sticky note on it says county general.
All
It's
the
other
1,000
one.
is County General.
This is it. And we're not in there with that.
Yeah, no, we're not in there at all.
Yeah.
You have,
Page 1, 2,
2,000, you should be right here.
Okay.
You're the 1,000.
Oh, here's Debbie.
Brian, you call for me?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm in the hot seat.
yes. Raise your right hand.
I didn't do it.
All right, just any changes or however you want to talk about it.
After our last meeting, you told us to resubmit. And I did, I changed the, what was it? 20,000 down to 16.5 that we talked about on the general in 2024 maintenance and service contracts.
Which one?
Maintenance and service contracts.
Line
Oh,
item
okay,
22.
okay, I see what you're at now.
I had 20,000
revision.
something and we dropped it to 16.5. And,
All right, well, I still got 27.
no, we changed it to
On this
16.5.
one, she does have a change.
Okay, well, I'm gonna change this one right here.
I did raise the,
Maybe, not blank.
Hold on. You're on.
you want recording or general?
There we
Yeah.
go.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I still have 20. 16.5.
16.5.
Okay.
We made copies before I changed it.
And then, down on line 20, or 3020, on telephone, I did add 500 to that, made it 5,000 because we're really close on my phone.
On the budget that I just,
Okay.
on the telephone, it says, it says 4,900, so that's right.
No,
So
I requested 5,000.
I took the last bill, the
Mhm.
November bills,
Mhm.
and redid them, and 49 should be enough.
Okay. I mean, I'm good as long as we understand if I, you know, I mean,
Unless you go over this month.
with phone, you know, it's usually pretty standard, but then again, you don't know. So y'all wanna do
Right.
4,900?
Yeah.
That'll be fine, that's what's in the packet, and we'll just,
Okay. And then my postage, remember I did get rid of my postage machine and all of the maintenance fees that go with that. And I had 800 in postage last year, and we are in the negative on postage because we are sending out a lot more jury questionnaires, a lot more jury letters, that kind of thing. So I did bump it up to 1,000 just to make sure I was covered, because I am in the hole there. And then the internet connection, I dropped it down to 1,000, and that probably still may be a little bit too much. This was printed in September, and I had $510,
It should be enough.
so I should be all right on 1,000.
Yeah.
On the travel and mileage, I left that, and I left the meals and lodging. And the reason why I did that is because normally we do go to training. This year we just had so much going on, we haven't had time. But that's very, very important to me for my girls to get to go to training to keep us up on our court systems and the new laws and the new changes. So I did leave that. The other miscellaneous where it says 1,500, I had 500 in the general, and then in the recorder's cost, I had where's it at? I had 3,000 in recorder's cost, so I just combined them and cut it in half and did 1,500, or a little less than half. And then my under capital outlay, that 18,000 is our new computers.
I've got 16.5.
It should be 18.
At the last meeting though, that was something that we put on the board as taking away, wasn't it?
Well, we're gonna
As-
attempt to do that. We'll see
Okay.
where we're at. Yes,
okay,
we're
but
gonna
we
try
kinda
to.
got that factored into what we've already cut, I guess.
And on our own computers, I guess if I remember right, we decided we weren't gonna do a county-wide IT person. Was that correct? The reason why I asked, I have a computer, my computer downstairs, that has completely crashed. It will turn on and go right back off. I don't know who to turn to. I've got to have somebody to get that computer up where I can at least download my most important stuff, my trust account ledgers and that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's gonna work again. I don't know when we're getting our new computers, but I'm in critical need of an IT person. It will come up and say, searching for a problem and then looking for a fix, and as soon as you hit finish, shuts down.
Is anything to pay for an IT person reflected in this? So there's nothing,
I have nothing in my budget to pay for an IT person. I don't even know an IT person besides ones in Conway that wants you to do so much per mile or $200 to drive up here. And
We've been using Tracy down at
Radio Shack.
okay,
He's pretty solid on
so Tracy at Radio Shack.
it. Yeah, I mean, give him a shot.
I've
I know
got
he's doing all the city stuff now, so.
okay.
Regardless of what it costs, we never need to have one person in-house in our IT again.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
We'll never be able to. Is that what you said?
We don't.
We don't need to.
That's a bad idea.
No, but I think that if nothing else, I mean, I know money's tight for sure, but somewhere we've got to be able to work in something. We've got to have somebody that can come in, because we have situations like that. I mean, my part of my job that I have to access through that is shut down. I can't.
Actually, I have extra in the maintenance department for whatever pops up. Computer maintenance is maintenance, so we should be fine there.
Yeah,
That
because I
should
cut
be
my
something.
computer maintenance. I mean, let's see, where was it at? Well, other miscellaneous, I cut that, you know, and then, so I've just tried to clean everything out here I didn't have to have, but that's something that really does worry me.
Well, I would definitely, you know, I know that I've talked to Tracy about that, and I'm not, you know, I just know he's one of the local guys,
Okay.
and I know he works.
And
on
I'm good
computers.
with that.
But I'm just saying that it might be worth contacting, talking to him, whatever. One good thing I like about having somebody local as an IT guy is there's not a service charge, there's not
Right,
a mileage
right,
charge.
right.
You don't have to wait 2 days for them to come up here and fix it and then turn around and go back and dad when things still don't work.
Come back, right,
They'll
I
come
agree
back.
100%.
That's what
The
I don't
only
like about
thing
having
I
somebody
worry about
come.
is right now, the computers we're working with, they were bought through Business Network Solutions, or Business Information System, who is our recording, land records department. And they are really good about helping me with any computer issue I have. Well, now these new computers aren't coming from them. And they don't charge me to do that, so I'm not gonna ask them
Right.
to be my IT person on these new computers.
Right, I agree with that.
So that's where I'm
Well,
at.
I think we have a 2 year, 2 or 3 year.
Yeah, I think it's a 3-year on that.
Yeah, on them, so we'll.
Well, I'll get ahold of Tracy, cause I'm really starting to, that's been going on for a couple of days now, so.
Okay.
I've done everything I know to do. Okay, so that's pretty much my general, do y'all have any questions about that?
I do not.
On your, machinery and equipment,
Mm-hmm.
4004, for some reason, y'all changed that to 16.5.
Now what, 4004?
4004, yeah.
It's the computers, it's at the bottom. That same.
Well, I know that they said, Laura had her sheet that night, so my computers were right at 16 something. And, you know, we talked about, I don't know if my scanners are gonna be compatible. I mean, I've sent the guy all of my scanner stuff, so I did put in a little bit there just in case we have to buy something extra that I'm not expecting. I haven't heard from that guy to tell me that it's not gonna be compatible, but some of our scanners are older, and, you know, they can be $1,000 a hit for those scanners. And we have to have those because we're e-filing. So that's why I put, because I have nowhere else to pull it from, so. So I'd like to leave it at 18 if any way
Well,
possible.
let's just leave it there for right now, and then we'll try to.
Okay.
I don't know nothing about computers. I just know they kind of got us by the.
Well, my latest one I put in, I put, after the last meeting, I put 18, because I thought that's what we talked about, but
And that's what I've got, here's the.
18, okay. So then we go over to the recorder's cost,
Number?
So we're leaving-
3006.
We're leaving that at 18, right?
Yes, that was
Okay.
18. That's what I had. What was your
3006.
3006? What's your second packet?
You're under on that.
Yeah, because that was
Recorder's
mine.
cost,
I looked at the
3006,
wrong
office
number.
102.
I looked at a different office's number when I took the 70% or 75% or whatever it was, 90%. So, yeah, I'm way under.
It's page 1, but it's 3006.
Collector's cost.
It'll say recorder's cost
Yeah,
fund.
Recorder's cost fund.
Got it.
3006, office 102.
If you leave it like that, we can put the rest in 99, in case you need.
So we have to put that much over there?
No, we don't have to put it
How much,
in
how
there.
much difference is it, do you know?
You're at 75.90, and you've got 35,000.
Okay, what about this one?
So that's why I'm saying we could put the rest in 99.
Well, you don't wanna let that build back up too.
But you don't have to spend it,
Right.
if you need it.
It's
it's
too much
already-
paperwork. I'll just get this one here where they've.
Yeah, I got it, I'm ready.
So this is the one, you know, we moved everything back to general on. I didn't leave much in here for the main purpose of letting it grow again. But like I said at the last meeting, if there's something I need to put over here out of general to make things work and know that we'll still be okay in recorders, we can do that. I just don't want to overdo it, since our last little trial didn't work out so well. As we've all been told, numbers of times. And I left that, now I do have a little bit of machinery and equipment, 3,090 on line 4004 in capital outlay. That will help me a little bit with, some office equipment if I need it.
Okay. Alright.
I had professional services, I had 4,000, I dropped it down to 3. There again, I was thinking the IT thing, you know, if I have to find somebody to come in to outsource somebody on my own. And everything else I either took out or I left the same. I took the other miscellaneous, that 3,000 I took out there as part of that 1,500 on the other. But I can put that back over here. Whatever y'all,
Well, we'll see where we're at and we'll
okay.
have
And
this
that's-
to go back to.
That's really all of mine. My child support, we had, moved $60.55 over there last year. And I went ahead and put 200 to move into that because, we have to buy checks and deposit slips and we don't get those for free at the bank. We have to pay for those.
You're way under on that one.
Okay. And then I don't have my commissioner's fee fund, but I think I put 200 or 100 over on it, and it was for the same thing, deposit slips and, checks for my trust account.
Had 3,000 in there.
Here it is.
Which was
It's
also.
3039.
Oh, I'm sorry. 3012 is child support.
She's on the other, this is commissioner's fee.
Brian, not that it matters, you're bumping 15 minutes on this one.
Okay.
How do these print out? Like, is there a way to print them by person, by department?
It's really my phone.
I need like this whole floor so I can.
I know.
But I don't know that we can do much with the child support or commissioner's fee fund anyway, can we? I mean, it's pretty much what it is.
And that one was 3012.
3012 and what's the other one, Pam? I don't have it with me.
I got it.
3039.
3039, yeah.
Yeah, 3039.
Okay. What else do you have?
That's
Is
it.
that it? All right, thank you, ma'am. Some of these offices have multiple. Takes a lot of time for us to look them up. All right, looks like we got County General, County Treasurer's Office.
Committee, do whatever you feel you need to do. I'm not so sure at this point I'd get out too far in the weeds in the cost funds. Since they have a specific purpose, they can only be used for what they can be used for, and
The main thing here is county general.
county general.
It's probably good I forgot my automation sheet.
Well,
I could just run to
those,
the office if we'd been down there.
most all those are under or right at, so y'all are kinda wasting time going over that.
On what automation? that what you
On
said?
all the other,
Automation
Anything.
and cost funds.
yeah.
But general.
Yeah, just have to stay with Jim here. All right, Misty, go ahead.
Okay, on mine, I know y'all told us to cut, but I left my deputy in. I've been asking for, just a reminder, it's only cost county general about 16,000. So I did leave that in my budget. Well, let's see, my telephone, I did raise it. Pam did an average, and, it went from the 783 to 890. My postage also went up, but I took that out of, it went up $50, and I took that out of my travel money, so it wasn't extra money. And then my postage machine, I put $46 instead of $42, just because that's what it is. That's what it cost. So, and that's the only difference on county general.
Okay. So the $50 you added into your postage, you just took that right out of the travel and mileage of the 400.
I did.
Made that, changed that to 350.
Right. So
Okay.
basically, the only thing I raised was my telephone And then the postage, which was just $4,
And salaries.
and salaries, yes.
Any questions, anybody? Mayor? Everybody good? All right. Thank you, ma'am. All right, we have County General Collector's Office. That'd be Fund 1000, Office 104.
Okay, to start off on the salaries, Pam entered that for me. That's mainly just that extra pay period. I didn't actually change anything from what I had submitted before, other than I did move my postage from general to my automation fund, and that was 15,000 out of this budget, and it'll be coming out of automation instead. So what my budget actually is over from last year is about 6,000, and that's that extra pay period. So if you look at all these amounts, those are things I have no control over. Maintenance service contracts, the postage machine, the telephone, stuff like that.
Right.
So what I did was moved what I could out of this budget and put it in automation to cover what I did have to go up. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but
It does. It does.
And again, Laura, where did you take that from?
out of postage, it was in other services and charges, it was that 15,000. I took that totally out of my main budget,
Okay.
and that will be coming out of automation instead, to cover what I did have to go up on things I can't control.
Good.
So,
Is that it on that?
I think that's pretty much it. I was trying to think if there was anything else I needed to say, but I don't think there is. I mean, that, like I said, I couldn't actually cut things. I just moved money where I could to help offset the increases.
Now the advertising and publication.
Okay, now that one I did raise, but we can drop that back to 5,000 because I thought I was gonna spend more out of that than what I did this year. So if you wanna change that from 6 back down to 5,
Okay.
because I do still have quite a bit left in that.
Okay.
The other things that I have money left in, there's still bills gonna be coming in, so I can't, decrease those. And of course, my general supplies, that's just because, there's about 800 coming off that 1150 that's left, so I raised that, and that was just because I've got to have ink and toner. But like I said, the main reason that budget at all is over is just the extra pay period.
Now explain to me too,
Mhm.
on your, of course, we went up in your general supplies,
Right,
3,000, is that right?
yes.
And then,
The
those-
maintenance and service contracts, is that the other one that you were gonna? Cause it went
Yeah, I
from
guess-
23
yeah, I guess
to
it is. Yeah,
26.
yes, ma'am.
And that's just because we're getting all those new computers, and,
Right.
some of the costs are just more, because we're having more computers added.
And what was the general supplies?
It was 7,000 and I upped it to 10. But like I said, I took the 15,000 in postage totally out of this budget and
Okay.
moved it to automation to offset where I did raise in this.
Okay.
Questions?
Oh, and I did check on that, the postage machine, and it was a 5-year lease, and it's not gonna be up until 2022, so.
Oh, okay.
And, honestly, I'll probably keep it, just because we're not the only office that uses it. The assessor has used it when they mail out a lot of letters, and that saves a lot of time. mailing out, letters and everything that we mail.
Laura, kudos for finding a way to use a cost fund.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not everyone has those, but the ones that do, it's really good to pull out of those what we can, where we can.
Yeah, I wasn't for sure what I could spend out of that, but that was one thing I found that I could use, so.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, looks like assessor and appraiser's office, Fund 1000, Office 105.
Okay. My salaries, I did leave the same as last year. I still haven't filled that spot yet until we know that we can. There was a few things that I did raise for the 911 duties, just because I don't really know what they're gonna entail, but I raised our supplies and, training, education, meals and lodging up just a little bit, just so if Brian needs to go for training, then he can. I just raised my telephone just a little bit because I think I'm gonna go over. And then I thought that I could use some of the money I had left in my budget this year to start paying on those computers. But my understanding is maybe we're already out of money, so I couldn't do that, so I had to put all of it in next year's, and I'm not gonna spend what's left in the budget, because I guess we were getting low. So I thought we were gonna buy some this year, what I had left, but I guess that's not the case.
On the special legal,
That wasn't in my budget before. I don't
That's
know.
the SW.
That was
for
the,
lawyer.
that's the Swin lawyer, and that's done, so we won't need that
Shouldn't
next
need
year.
anything.
so we can zero that out?
Yep.
What about the other professional services?
That is,
It just went up $100.
yes, for help with the,
No.
we're gonna try to recoup some of the money on the business personal next year. With Flywheel, I may have to have some assistance, and so I put that in there. If we can do it, it'll bring in more than what I put down.
Did you take that 3,000 out?
Yeah.
It's, okay, that's under other professional service where it was zeroed and you put 3,000 in it.
I did.
Okay.
Like I said, if we can use that to our benefit, it will bring in a lot more than what I have down.
In kind of revenues.
Yes.
Oh, that's for sure.
Any questions on that one?
Go ahead.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Then the 106 Equalization Board, it's down just a little bit. Most of that's pretty much already set because of the contract price, so it's really no change there. And the fund that I have, I guess you call it an automation fund, it's my homestead credit. I can only use it for very specific things, so I can't really, I'm gonna try to get one computer out of it. Because sometimes homesteads are done on that one computer. Other than that, I can't really take anything out of it.
Okay.
No questions?
Anything else? Good. Good. All right, thank you, ma'am. The next next one is, course fund 1,107, Corn Court. It's pretty well set. We did drop, a couple of things.
We're doing more work for less money.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like, travel, we dropped some travel down. We also dropped some meals and lodging down, so we're down below, last year. Questions on that? Alright, move on. We have, County General Courthouse, Fund 1,108. It's very minimal.
That was one of mine.
Looks like we are down. Yeah, we're actually up just a little bit because of the water.
Water.
Really nothing you can change on.
Nope,
No.
nothing.
Did that
That's
one
all
have trash pickup on it?
electricity and all that stuff.
No.
You took it out.
Right, right.
No, it's just basically insurance and utilities. Look like County General Election Commission. Is that you, Pam?
Not really, but there's no change on.
Now, does this reflect, we kinda talked about it last time, but like 33,000 or something when they have to pay for machines?
No,
Or,
We're not gonna have to pay for the machines.
at all, the way I understand it.
That did become official through the Secretary of
Okay,
State's
okay.
website.
Yeah.
They don't have to pay for it. And,
It's all on
you know,
there.
our county really stuck its neck out to be able to do that. So we owe some thanks.
And we didn't have this last year, is that correct?
What's that?
Was this on the election commission, is that the?
on the salaries as far as the full-time, Pam, is this half of one employee from your department? Okay. So half of her salary is paid out of this, and then half of it's paid from your,
Yes.
okay.
And the part-time is all the poll workers and the election commissioners.
How does that, just out of curiosity, how does that play, how much does it normally cost us in an election year for like part-time? Just out of curiosity.
Well, that's what I did. I went to the previous election and put that amount.
But we're probably not gonna have to have that much, right?
I hope not.
Because we're condensing, you know,
The number of people.
a whole lot of people,
Yes.
the way I understand it.
Is there a way to figure that at all? Based
I
on,
can try,
I mean, you know, ballpark,
yeah.
cause it would be a significant change.
It's really the same amount of hours at those 4 polling spots.
But
I mean,
less-
you're not extending hours, are
Right,
you?
right.
No, but we're gonna be using those people.
You're gonna use-
Right, so it should go down, I mean,
Yeah.
it should just be able to divide it by how many we had, by how many we're gonna have, right? Should count, cost the same to run a station as it did before, is it only 4?
So we're talking 4 stations.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's 4 stations, should be
should
5, but
reduce,
4.
yeah.
All right. So she's gonna work on that. Any other questions on this one? Drought professional, that's good. And I guess, I'm assuming the postage, on this, 3,300 is because we're having to mail out
Yes,
to all the people up north, out west.
everywhere.
Countywide.
We circle back to that one.
Alright,
Ready to move on, Mr. Chairman?
yep, let's move on. Get me started. Alright. Looks like, we got County General Economic Development. One thing we have there is, a drop on the, well, I can't read this, but
No change from last time. It is a massive cut.
Is that you?
yeah, it went from
Is this
19
you?
to about 5,900, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's economic development. Alright, looks like, community center, County General Community Center.
That's me.
Is that,
The
about the
only
same?
difference should be water.
Do they have sewer?
Yep.
We went from 480 to 1,200. And electricity went down. Questions on that?
Have a choice.
Move on.
Control what we can.
It is what it is.
Work around what we can.
County General Courthouse Annex, Fund
Same thing.
120. Basically your utilities.
You know, I think it's kind of hidden in all these numbers, but Billy and Fred took it on themselves to say, we can pick up this trash and take it out there and not have to pay for a professional service. And that's saved a lot of line items. That's helped soften the blow of the water bills doubling. So,
That'd be good. That'd be good.
it was very, very good on them.
We have voter registration, 1,121. Who's that? That you?
121, yes.
So Pam, what's the difference in the part-time this year in this one versus last year?
Because we'll have an election,
Okay.
yeah, because we'll have early voting, most like this one is.
So we'll have a big election.
So this one covers the
Yeah.
early voting stuff, where this other one covers
Election day,
election day.
Okay.
right.
And I'm assuming that's why some of this other stuff went up, like general supplies is same thing.
Yes.
Did drop a lot of this other stuff though.
I tried to drop everything else that I could. Since we had to go up on some others.
And the difference in the payroll will be the 27th. Questions? No questions? We'll move on.
Who's the part-time? Is Vicky considered the part-time?
Who's
Who's
your
the
part-time? Is that Vicky?
No, Vicky's the full-time. The part-time is going to be the ladies that work in our early voting for 2
Okay.
weeks.
But who's the one that we're paying out of the election commission and yours?
The full-time election commission would
Yeah.
be Johnny Rowe, would it not?
No, his comes out of part-time.
We've got somebody being paid half out of one fund and half out of the other one. Who's that?
Yeah, that's Kim. She's not out of voter registration. She's out of county clerk's office and
Okay.
election commission.
Okay, thank you. Did we finish voter registration? Did we finish voter
Yes,
registration?
yes. All right. Looks like we have the North Courthouse Annex. Kind of is what it is. Looks like just bills. We love bills.
Utility bill.
It went up to $1,000.
Homes for the poor.
I can see it.
Big difference is the water. Looks like County General Floodplain Management. It's basic bills.
What is that one, like $400?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
$345. Health Department. To hear from Health Department.
No, it's no change.
There's no change.
Did we go by that one?
Hmm?
We already do that one?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I wrote it down, sorry.
Yes.
Got it.
No change on hers, but she was under budget total anyhow.
200.
Mhm. When she submitted. And Sheriff's Office, 1,400. I seen him patiently waiting.
Very patient. So, resubmitted hours, and with the minimal amount of time that we're allotted, if you have any questions, I'd suggest asking. I think we've done what we can to readjust it, so. The only thing I do know is on the jail maintenance, we are still doing some checking on it. We've got some discrepancies in our numbers and we're not real sure. But that's money that we can't adjust. It is
Right.
as much as there is what we get to use 90% of, so.
Did you get back in here, like I said, we just received these, so did you get back in here the items that you wanted to make sure was left in there? Did you look at all that on your, some of the money that you'd have received,
Yeah,
K-9 stuff and
The
all that?
K-9,
Yeah, all
it's
that.
in here.
Yes. I don't have a copy of that, so.
Well, I don't, hopefully 600, because it's not on mine, that's what I was saying.
It's on this one.
It's on
I
this
do
one.
have it if
Yeah.
you need it.
It's on that
I
one.
want to make sure that was,
It's 600.
And I think y'all got some more money in, so it'll probably be more than that.
I mean, that's fine, I mean, I just know that money
We're
is,
always making money.
especially on that type of money, I know it's hard earned and,
That was 2018.
yeah. Where we're at on here.
So it's 60,000 above last year.
Now, extra pay periods are in this, right, Pam?
Yes.
Okay, and Sheriff's Department, that's gonna
Yeah.
hit them really hard, those
Yeah,
extra
right,
pay
try to look
periods.
at that.
Would there,
They've got more people.
would that extra pay period be $60,000?
Be 30,000 of it.
It's gonna be a lot for the sheriff's office.
Probably more than that, I would think.
Maybe more than that. We've got approximately 30,000, but with all the benefits and stuff, Pam figures that, so I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
that's
how to
about 50%.
Yeah.
Whatever your salaries are, it's about 50%,
I bet it's gonna be
55%.
closer to 45,000.
So you can see we're asking for very minimal
Yeah.
money.
And the figure I'm looking at from last year, you're about $20,000 above what you were in 2018 for your, the money you wanted.
Right, what, say that again?
Way to go,
His
Lucas.
budget in 28.
That's only getting 20,000 back from 286,000, so
Exactly.
that's not bad.
That's not bad. He was at 1,330,17861 in 2018. That was his budget.
Good job.
That's a dang good job.
Thanks to Deb
Good job.
and all the other employees
Did everybody
doing
else?
their job.
All right.
Yeah, and it's a shame, but that's good budgeting.
I will keep my opinions to myself.
I know. Please keep it there. Because it ain't over yet.
No.
All right, your clerk, that's gonna be Debbie, is that correct? On
That's
your-
Debbie Cooter.
That's Debbie, okay. I guess Pam, on this,
Look at the salaries.
Yeah.
payroll here, is that with that, is that because that's added in as the 27th payroll, or is that just her salary there?
The ones in yellow are the salaries that have been moved up a little.
And are they reflected in everybody's budget? Like what's
The
highlighted on
27 payrolls are, this is everything, 27 payrolls, everybody. The ones in yellow are different.
Different.
They're asking for more.
Okay.
Okay. And I guess my question to you, Lucas, is the 29,840, that is what you were asking for that clerk's position, is that correct? Okay.
That's the
And it-
increase to that. I mean, it's.
Yeah, and that was from
okay.
25,000 or
Yes,
whatever.
from 25 to 29. Just makes her competitive with all of her
Yeah,
clerks.
absolutely, and that's what we were looking at, that's what we were talking
She
about
does a
earlier.
lot of work.
I agree with that.
You know that.
I agree with that.
She's a hard worker.
She,
Well, I'll be honest, I felt ashamed at what she was making. I'll be real honest, because I know what she does up there, and that was, personally to me, that was way out of line with what she needs to be making on that. All right, let's see. Any other questions on his guys?
He's pretty bare bones.
Anybody? Excuse me.
I can't see anything else right now.
Sarah? Anything? All right, we'll move on. You should have.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the SWN money, is that gonna be used for purchasing and updating our computer systems?
That's what we're gonna try to use that for,
Yeah.
yes. That and the
27th pay period?
correct.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Is that, are you talking about for the sheriff's department as well?
Yeah, we're,
Because I thought the figure that we had was for the new computers.
It is for the new
But does it,
computers.
the figure?
But their computers are considerably,
here's my question, if I
Okay.
can finish it out. If that's gonna be something that's allowed, then obviously I can trim a little bit off of
Yeah,
our
you can.
computer stuff. If not, I mean, it's gonna run us a whole big whopping number of about $6,000.
right. We're going to try to do that, because that's what I told you we was gonna do.
Okay.
Because we're gonna do it for everybody else. We're gonna see how far that goes, because
I'm just saying, that's an adjustment we can make on ours. If that comes out of SWIN money, we can take it off of.
Right, and we'll look at that.
Okay.
But I think the payroll's gonna be about 135,000, 140,000, somewhere in that time frame.
But we need to get with Apprentice and have them look at those computers and get it on the same.
But we don't need to be paying $5,000 for a computer when
I don't need apprentice if they're that high.
when they're
Not what we
talking
do.
getting one from Radio Shack for, pennies on the dollar compared to,
Right.
because you don't have to have all that they.
Oh, well.
We just gotta be updated. We don't, I mean,
Yeah.
it's got a lot of
I
stuff
agree.
that we won't use.
Yep.
My
agree.
question was he figured into that, what was it, like 32?
Well, I don't
I
think we
think
actually
we
come down to
put
it.
70 something on the board, and I don't think he was in it.
That's what I was
But,
wondering.
and Deb did a really good job of
given some prices on
That's right.
some computers. It sounded awesome.
They've done the research.
Yeah.
So,
We talked to him again today, it's gonna cost us around 6,000.
okay.
Yeah,
How many
I just
computers
leave
is
that-
that? Do you know?
How many did you look at? 6 towers?
6 towers, a laptop, and 4 upgrades.
Is that gonna cover
Pretty
like
darn
your
good.
software? Like you
Does
don't
that
have to
cover
pay
your software and
anything?
everything, Deb?
Well, we've gotta buy Microsoft.
Yeah,
Microsoft,
the
yeah.
difference is they don't use the same
Yeah.
Windows
stuff. I mean, they use
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft
Okay.
Words
We pay
and stuff like
monthly,
that.
we pay monthly for Psalms and, you know, there's ACIC, we pay
ACIC.
monthly on
Right.
that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
a-
reoccurring every week.
Yeah, they can go on.
Yeah,
any.
I'd leave that 5,000 in your budget right now until we know what we got going on.
I was just letting you know if that happens, it's something we can adjust.
That'll work. That'll work. All right. Any other questions on the sheriff's office?
Good job, Lucas.
Part of it. All right. Good job there. Now we got what jail?
Oh, detention. Okay. Jail maintenance, we're gonna wait.
We got school. SRO.
Oh, sheriff's office is waiting.
SR comes under here.
Yes, SRO's under him and detention center. Detention center's 1,418.
Page.
Oh, and the Corps of Engineers, but nothing.
Oh, we got Corps of Engineers, but they are.
Yeah, there's not
War's pretty much in and out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in and out.
Kind of the same with the SRO.
Yes,
Yeah, pretty much. It's all the same thing.
it's all reimbursed.
Yeah.
So do we wanna skip those two?
Yeah, let's go to
Yeah,
Fund
let's just go to
1,000,
that.
Office 418, which is County General Detention Center.
418, okay, 418. Oh, it's got it.
Okay? All right, go ahead, sir.
We did make a few adjustments in supplies where we noticed we could renegotiate some of that stuff, which was janitorial supplies, medicine and drug, and our food.
Yeah, we've made quite a bit.
We made quite a bit of adjustment there.
There again, your salaries are gonna run
A little higher,
a
yeah.
little higher, at least 30,000. So
Right.
you're almost identical of what your budget was last year on the detention center.
And that's what we was asked of, right?
Yes.
Okay. We're right there.
Yes, there's last year. And the cost is paid for.
Mhm. All right, any questions? All right, sir.
Something that you may note for jail maintenance, looks like probably in the next 2 weeks, we're gonna take about a $10,000 hit.
Okay.
Our evaporator coil went out on our walk-in cooler that we're not even, we don't even have them paid for yet. Sewer is backed up, fixing to have to dig up our parking lot. And something else.
The dryer.
The dryer's going out, industrial dryer, that's
I'm trying to get them
3,500.
to hang clothes,
So-
and it's not going over real well.
I just fixed
But
So
I am
we-
trying, I'm
we've got
serious.
Yeah.
I'm just saying approximately $10,000 hit with these things,
Is-
these three things hitting us all at once,
Is
so.
the sewer backup because of they're putting stuff down it that doesn't belong?
Well,
in?
this is separate, this is we found out that we have two,
Fines?
we've got two holding tanks that
Okay.
goes to that. Well, this is on the south end of the building, which is not what our inmates
Inmates, okay.
shove.
Okay.
I won't tell you what they shove. But anyway, we're on the other end of the building. We haven't had problems with
Okay.
that yet, but now we do.
Now you do, okay.
But I talked to the plumber, and I've talked to the Bates Mechanical, and it looks like between the three issues we've got, we're gonna be looking at about 10,000, so there may not be the carryover there that it looks like.
Right.
So on the walk-in cooler, is that not gonna be under warranty? Or do you know yet?
They've checked it, 3-year warranty. So it's not under warranty with us. Not unless they bought something extensive that
Yeah, I don't.
they didn't leave us the paperwork for.
That's the beauty of having those automation funds, though.
Yeah.
It's not detrimental.
Yeah, we don't have one.
It's depleted.
It's a-
That's why we're looking at the numbers, cause
Yeah.
you don't go from 90,000 last year to 40,000 this year and something not be wrong. So
That's right.
we're trying to find the problem, cause
Yeah.
I can assure you my guys have done their fair share to put money in that.
Guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
And the numbers show that they've done twice the work, so there should be twice the money. So we're trying to figure out with district court and the various places that that money goes and comes from to see where our hangup is.
Okay.
Hopefully we can.
Wouldn't give up something.
But just so we don't depend on the carryover,
Yeah.
because I'm fixing to use about 10 grand to,
Right, right.
anything else?
I think that's it. Is that it?
That's it, good looking.
Good job.
Thank you.
SROs are all the same.
Yeah, that's the same.
Looks like County General Circuit Court.
Division 1.
Did he skip
Are there gonna be any changes to any of those, Pam? They're all gonna be the same, all the judges.
All the judges.
I think you've about hit all the majors.
District Court
They went up 2,000.
went up a little bit.
That's probably
Some of
because of the salaries.
Yeah, you got extra payroll.
Yeah.
Well, that was 4,300 with salaries
And
and
then you
then
needed extra for drug testing.
drug
600.
testing.
Mm-hmm. 600, wasn't
Yep, 600, so it went up to 1,000 from 400 to 1,000 on that.
And they're supposed to get a grant for that. So,
it? So we get that back?
yeah.
Okay,
And then
good.
utilities out of that.
Yeah, utilities added that. Corps of Engineers, that stayed the same. Braswell,
He's actually right on the same what he was last year.
and then we got that deputy prosecutor's office.
Who's that? Oh, deputy prosecutor? 108,267. What is that, 2,000? But that's salaries?
I think it's
Yep.
payroll,
It's
it's the
payroll.
extra payroll and the utilities.
Yeah.
Pam, had all those changes that have been presented tonight already been given to you?
I've got one here that I've got wrote down, one or two that I need to change.
Pretty insignificant,
Huh?
fairly insignificant,
Well, just that one moving money where you said a while ago.
which that's budget neutral.
Mm.
How far off do you show us? No.
I'm showing, we have, what, 5,277,800?
No, we're going with 5,130,077 at this point.
True, but we have not adjusted for that 27th pay period. So we're going to be getting pretty close there.
Well, where'd y'all get that number?
Tom,
That was the
what-
first number that we had
Up on the board?
on the board last week. That was the number we was given.
Because those have changed.
Yes. That's the number we're gonna try to stay with right now.
Okay.
Because of the
okay.
2 months that
Well,
we don't
county
know.
Yes.
general, right now, everything that I have in there right now is 6,067,784.82.
Repeat that again?
6,067,784.82.
Okay. That's down almost 200,000.
Okay, so, Where is the difference? Because everyone came in right at or below
Last year's. Yeah,
last
they're-
year.
they're
So
right at or
where
below.
is the difference?
The difference of what?
Well, we took those extra pay periods, which are still reflected in all these budgets,
That's a little low.
on that.
Yeah.
So let's just say that's 100.
Mhm.
I gotta take a picture of the board.
Good girl.
The extra payroll for circuit clerk, all her payroll's gonna be in general. So that's part of it.
And then we're getting back to 75%.
Was that 134,000?
I think that's what we had done on the salaries.
Yeah, 134, 107.
Mhm.
Maybe Sarah did.
The circuit clerk's payroll,
That's not right on salaries, is it?
258, 872, 53.
Okay.
That's with benefits and everything. right?
Yes, that's what's benefit.
What we had written is we had taken off 90,000 of what Dale was gonna cut, which is reflected. Payroll 135 we'd taken off. Computers, we had taken off 20.
That's what I was wondering about, if we figured in the sheriff's
Yeah,
office.
I don't. Treasurer, we had taken off 220. And then 31 for election, but that wasn't in here, so.
So, with everybody coming in with a budget considerably lower than what they had, we're still almost 937,000 in the negative.
See, that's where I'm failing to see it.
I don't either.
Because we were only 611, 435.
Last year's amount was 5.3 or 5.4.
5.4.
Now, we did.
We were adding, like that 220 is a big difference in this. We were taking that off because it was gonna hit back. But,
Well, y'all say taking all this out, but I have to leave it in here.
Right.
I'm not really sure what y'all are doing.
well, really really where that's coming in is even though we wanna leave it at that 5.1. That 220 adds back to that. If that number goes up, then we can take it off, but
But it still doesn't make sense. It still doesn't. Why is the
It
bottom?
was 5.
Oh.
I just wish you did what it
It's
Yeah,
like
use your
blue
finger.
fingers.
Don't bother me. Don't bother me, I was still in negative.
What did?
There it is, 9. Need 3.
The difference is in the red.
Way high.
well, if we take out, right now, all the computers, so the first thing is, all the computers are reflected in Pam's numbers.
Okay.
So if we pay that out of the settlement, that comes off of Pam's numbers.
So
If we pay
Salaries.
the extra payroll out of the settlement, it comes off Pam's numbers.
Election equipment.
Okay, it comes off Pam's numbers. So Pam's gonna have the higher, but whatever we decide to pay out of the settlement is going to come off of it.
So,
So that needs to come off the 789.
Because 135,000.
do you want this?
Yes, yes, 135,000.
Is that what it? Well, that was the payroll.
Yes, so if we pay that out of the settlement, we can take 135 off for payroll. I mean, I guess that's a guesstimation, but that's what we're going with right now.
What was the treasurer?
The treasurer, we were hoping would come back to us, so I think we should just say that's reflected in the 52.
Oh, yeah, the November and
Is
December.
that money not showing in your numbers here?
This one money, the flywheel money is. We had to lower our rollover. We didn't have as much revenue come in as we really thought. We knew it'd be a little bit lower, but it was quite a bit lower, like 175,000. 178,000, so our rollover I had to lower, but the anticipated revenue actually went up. But that's not with.
So we can legitimately take off the payroll if we pay it, the computers if we pay it,
Election.
but the election, I don't think, that equipment's not in Pam's numbers, so we really can't do it.
Okay.
There's a lot more, I don't think, though, reflected in computers in these actual budgets than 20. I mean, we don't know, but
I thought the
it
amount
was
was
like
way higher.
7
Oh, I didn't know that.
But most of that was being paid out of
cost funds.
cost funds.
Okay, so we estimated that 20 was from general.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. Because those either didn't have the money in the cost fund or didn't have it.
Okay, so we're kind of where we were.
I'm not sure about the rollover.
Well, really, what was proposed on the original proposals, what was on that picture? It was 6.2, and now it's 6.
Mm-hmm.
So
Proposed
really,
budget was 6.2.
200 was actually cut.
I mean, and that's a significant amount.
Well, guys, I have brought in Susan Scarberry to talk to us about health insurance. So this will help out a little bit. So, Susan, if you'd like to come up and address.
Wave your magic wand.
We don't have a
Here it
$500,000
goes.
magic wand.
You guys probably remember the last couple of years when I've come in and claims were here and premiums were here, and it was like trying to negotiate your homeowners when the house is on fire. This year it's a new day. Can get a report that shows me paid claims and paid premiums. It's not necessarily employee specific, but I have an idea of where the plan is, and I talked to the judge about it, and he thought that there was an opportunity this year to negotiate some relief, and he was right. Blue Cross initially came in on the very plan that you've got, and they wanted a 10% increase, and they came down to 6%. But now Blue Cross, they're looking not at just this year, which was a good year, but they're looking at the past 2 years. So we did go to some other companies and get some quotes, and the United Healthcare proposal is in the far right column. It shows you the benefit, it shows you the Health Advantage or Blue Cross, and then it shows United Healthcare. The benefits are not an exact match, but they're very close. The deductible on both plans is $500. The maximum out of pocket on the United is a little bit higher, but your office visit copays are lower, the pharmacy copays are lower, and then the premium down at the bottom shows you that with the United plan, you can save about $220,000 over what you're paying this year. Not the increase that Blue Cross was asking for, but what you're paying now.
So if we stay with Blue Cross, then it's an increase, it's not stay the same, it's either go up.
It's a 6% increase with Blue Cross, or it's a decrease from, right now you're paying $774.86 per employee, and it would go down to $33.75.
The difference between the two is about $169,332.
Now, what's important to look at here, I mean, if you don't mind me.
Go ahead.
What's going to impact the employee most? And the deductible is the same. We're going back to United. We had United. Everyone liked their United, and then we moved over to Blue Cross Blue Shield simply because of cost. Now we're at a position where we can go right back to where we were, which everyone liked to begin with. The copay from $30 to $20. That's good for the employee, and not to mention that we're saving money on our premiums. For office, what is it, specialty care?
Yeah.
From a $60 copay to a $40 copay. Let's look down at prescription drugs, because that impacts our employees every time they go to the pharmacy. We're going from 15 on the bottom to 130 at the top, to 15 at the bottom to 75 at the top. So most of our employees are going to see better coverage for less price.
You know, and it's not just the county that benefits from a lower premium. You've got a lot of people who try to cover their spouses, they try to cover their kids, and they pay the difference in those premiums, and it's getting to the point where they just can't afford it. They'll be paying less too, because those premiums are lower across the board. Employee spouse, employee children, and family are even lower than what they're paying today. So they'll be taking more home in their paycheck.
It's considerably different.
It is. Outpatient surgery, it will be a 10% deductible. Right now, it's $100 plus that 10% deductible. Hospital inpatient, 10% deductible is what it will be. That was $200 plus that same 10% deductible. So and the emergency room will go from a $100 copay and 10% deductible to just a $350 copay, which you take off that 10% off that, because emergency rooms are extremely expensive. I think it's going to be really good for the employee.
So will we have to do an ordinance on this?
We do not. This is a contract that I can sign off on
And when is this coming up?
right now.
Right now.
It will start January 1.
January 1.
So it's $225,000 difference.
You can't deduct that $225 off your $600,000, because a significant chunk of this is county roads and such. But it's going to be
Pretty good chunk.
Better for the.
it's
better
going
for
to
the employee.
offset your 27th pay period.
Yeah. I'll make a recommendation, we accept this United Healthcare plan.
Yeah.
Pharmacy benefits.
They're here a second.
United Healthcare is a really great company to work with. And my patients complain, when you guys have United Healthcare, they could not get their prescription drugs filled within the county because they would not accept that policy. Or their drugs were not covered by that policy. You better look at that. From a healthcare's perspective, United Healthcare is a bad deal.
Well, I actually am covered by United, and I've not had a problem with them.
It depends on the drug you're going for. Your diabetes meds, those are insanely expensive. Does United help cover those? Can they get those billed in county? Or are they having to go to Conway to pick up that diabetes med because United Healthcare didn't pick it up? Those are things that I would be interested in as a healthcare provider. I want to make sure my patients can get their drugs if they're employed by the county. If you guys cut their in my opinion, a lesser policy. As a doctor, United Healthcare is a lesser policy. Regardless, it just doesn't do as good for the the patients.
Are you referring to under 65 employees or those who are on Medicare?
No, the under 65 employees. Medicare's not affected by
Yeah.
Medicare.
Because, Walmart and any of the pharmacies in town are covered by United.
We had United before and it done fine. It was fine.
It depends on the drugs you get. You guys are a fairly healthy population, you're working people, but I'm just saying from a healthcare provider's perspective, I heard lots of complaints. I take care of lots of county employees and I heard tons of complaints last time when you guys were with United Healthcare from patients that couldn't get their stuff.
No, I didn't.
How could we
have it,
obtain
but-
that information? I mean, it's gonna be a case-by-case thing, so how could we even begin to?
It's impossible to say, even with a comparison like this, because they have to file their benefits and their contracts with the Arkansas Insurance Department. So there's no way you can make sure that you match benefit to benefit when you go from one company to another. It can't be done. And on pharmacy, they have what they call a formulary. So maybe I take XYZ prescription to cover my blood pressure medicine. And with Blue Cross, maybe it's a $15 copay, and with United Healthcare, it's a $35 copay. But if I'll change to ABC medicine for my high blood pressure, it changes the copayment around, and that's going to happen. It happened when they switched to Blue Cross. People had to change medicine to get back in that lower tier. But that's not something, I just, and I know you know what you're talking about, but I've not had that experience with United myself. And there are a lot of people in the county who have diabetes and have some of those things. And you were with United for a number of years, and I really didn't have a lot of problems with claims. And everybody knows where my office is. They know where I live, so they show up, if they've got a problem.
So if a person were to call the pharmacy, call Walmart Pharmacy, could they say, this is my list of prescriptions? Would it be covered under this? Would they be able to do that without being signed up with the company?
You've almost got to, and I can give Dale what's called the formulary so he can look at it, but you'd have to go to every single person in the group to know. And there's really,
I mean, if we had them do that on their own.
yeah.
I
don't know if you
did,
can get into that.
I did call around to other counties and ask them what they're doing. I think that the going thing is for the counties to jump on the municipal league insurance bandwagon. That insurance is nothing compared to what we offer. Nothing.
Yeah, the coverage is not, Charlton's got that and the coverage is not good.
Right. I did find another county that offers private insurance, Izard County. They charge their employees 10% of it. So, we offer a very good package, and I'm very proud of what you guys have always offered.
We've got it good. The county covers 100% of employees. So you're not gonna make everybody happy.
And this bottom is a monthly figure, correct? So like I'm looking at an employee family, so that $1,500, that's what it would cost a family?
They would actually pay the difference between that and the employee
But
only.
that would be based on the renewal that we're gonna get $500 difference for a family savings times 12.
That's right. You've got
So
it.
that's $6,000.
Yeah.
And I know that there's an offset from
Yeah.
what,
Yeah.
but that's a significant amount of savings for them.
It has reached the point that a lot of people are just going to have to not cover their dependents if the premium goes up again.
Yeah, because we stay the same, it's going up from, it's going up another $60,000.
And the employees who cover spouses and children and family, they'll all pay more too.
Well, if we're going up, then we may not even have a choice. It's either, we don't have the money to begin with, so the cost is either gonna have to be passed down to them, or we have to charge them a percentage, or we have to go with the lesser. I don't see any other option. I mean, if somebody has a better idea, I'd be.
No, I don't.
No, we
I don't see it.
we can't pay for the increase if we don't have the money.
But I would like to know. I mean,
I'm
that's a-
hoping that some of the savings in the family plans would help to cover, issues like that are being discussed. If there was, I mean, I don't know that we'll know that will offset it enough. But I mean, the family plan, that's significant for them in savings. I would hope that would help. I'm with you, Sarah. We can't pay for an increase.
Yeah, the difference is 55,788. If we stay the same where we're at with Health Advantage, starting in January 1, way I understand this, there'll be an increase of 55,788. Or we go with this other one, and it's similar, or maybe some differences there, and it's a lower rate at $169,332 difference, lower.
But really, 225
Well, from the renewals, yeah.
And are the increases reflected in the budget, or do we have to add that in too?
No, we would have to add that in.
I mean, I still want to be able to offer them 100%, all the employees, to pay for their insurance.
It really matters to them, and I'm very thankful that you guys have been able to do that, because I'm battling it every day trying to help people who have to buy coverage on their own, and it is crazy what the premiums are now.
I have to buy my own, and it's nearly $300
It's
a month.
Yeah, and that's low compared to what somebody my age has to pay.
So if we can keep them where they don't have to pay anything for it, that's important to me.
Exactly, because people aren't working for the county to get rich.
That's exactly, well, some of the pay that
Yeah,
they're paid, I mean, the insurance is sometimes what makes it worth it as far as, so I want to keep that the same if all possible.
Do we have a choice?
Can you share with them the
Not if
number
we
you
don't
shared
do
with me
this
earlier
lower.
about the number of covered?
When I was working on this presentation and looked at the number of your employees, and I actually bumped it up a little to get this annual down at the bottom, and estimated that you'd be covering 100 employees next year to get these annual figures. But in 2017, you had 120 employees. So you've dropped that much in just the last few years. That's got to be a huge savings.
Well, I mean, I think this might be something we need to,
I knew we had cut a lot of positions. I didn't realize exactly how many, but we have cut probably overall as a county 25%. That's massive.
maybe something we can, we ain't got to make a decision right this second, I guess.
When do you have to know?
If you do change, then I would really like to get the employees to do new applications. And it's not that I don't have the information from their old forms, but if they've moved, if they've added dependents, I might mess that up, and then they don't get their ID cards, and it snowballs. So if we have to have everyone do an application, that takes a little bit of time. And I need to turn this in to United, if you do that, by December the 10th, a completed package. Now I can do the enrollment for United. I can do it on a spreadsheet, and I'll do that. But I need to be able to be finished with it by December the 10th.
So you're covered under United Healthcare.
I have United now.
And our hospital and all that takes all that, so there's not an issue there.
All the pharmacies take it, the hospitals take it. I don't know why someone would have said they had to go to Conway to get their medication, because all the pharmacies in town take United. I'm not sure, you know, what the circumstances were on that, unless it was, I don't know, maybe
Specialty medication
some kind
or
of specialty
something.
medication or something. But there are, and were at the time many diabetics that were covered in the county, and they, you know, they were all able to get their medicine. And it's not to say that someone might not have to switch from one to another, because that typically does happen when you change from one health insurance company to another. It happened when they switched to Blue Cross. And, you know, I like both of these companies. Benny's covered by Blue Cross. So we've split the family up. He's with Blue Cross and I'm with United, but they're both, in my experience, they are both quality companies.
And you say we were covered under United Healthcare for a long time.
Oh, it was over 5 years, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a while.
When was the switch made under the?
2015, I think, was when, I want to think it was 2015 was when they switched to Blue Cross.
You all have satellite TV. You know how sometimes it pays you to go back and forth, play one company against the other from dish to direct? It's kind of, unfortunately, it works that way here too. When we're able to put these out for competitive bid, she can work her magic and get those prices down. Now, we have something that most counties would kill for, and that's a local agent who will actually go to bat for them, who is available 24/7 when we need them. When they go to Municipal League Insurance and they get that substandard to our standards insurance, they don't get that. You're calling a bank, like a call bank, a call center bank, to talk to someone about your health care, where we go straight to the source, and we have someone that goes and fights for us. So thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
I'll need to know the decision before December, because we'll have to put it in for payroll.
Yeah, there's no need to belabor this.
Well, I just want to make sure that, and I'm texting the doctor, and make sure that
That he takes the insurance.
well, not him, but that the hospital and everybody else. But you said you had it, so it does. You do. They do.
United Healthcare and Blue Cross are the two companies that are offered here in Arkansas that have a national PPO network. So with United, you know, if you have to go to MD Anderson or you are, you know, referred outside the state for something, they've got a national PPO network, and you just hook right into that. And it's as if you lived in Texas or if you lived in Florida or New York, as the case may be. Now, Health Advantage actually is more of an Arkansas network, although I have never known them not to approve if somebody had a serious condition. I've never known them not to approve you to see an out-of-state provider. But there are carriers where that would be a problem, not with either one of these. You know, like I said, these are both, in my opinion, good companies. I'm not afraid of either one of them. And I've got a ton of customers with both. So, you know, I've dealt with both of them.
Okay.
I don't see that we have much of a choice. We can't afford
We can't
Blue
afford-
Cross,
No.
and we can afford United. So what's the holdup?
And I was there that I don't wanna put that cost on them.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, we can't afford a, you know, $56,000 increase. That's for sure.
Mm-mm.
And we're looking for savings to begin with.
And so I don't know that we have a whole lot of option at this point.
We could turn around and ask the audience.
Already made a recommendation. Already made a recommendation to accept this.
I agree with you.
I'm
Is that a second?
I second it. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.